Happy Arvo. Hello. Thank you so much for joining me today. How you doing? 10 things you should know about Australian culture. That's probably true. I probably should know them by now. But I guarantee there's things in here I don't know. Even after doing this for years. These are my favorite kind of videos. Okay? This is like the basis of my channel. I'm excited. Go check out Overseas Students Australia. Link down below. Aussie culture. Let's do it. Oh, you got to sign the disclaimer. Did you sign the disclaimer? All right, then we can continue. Continue.
Australian culture is very unique, and it has many features and characteristics that makes it really different than many other countries in the world. If you're planning to come to Australia, these are the 10 things
Like going barefoot in the supermarket.
you should know about Australian culture. Let's get started with the first one. Australians are very friendly people. Now, generally speaking, Australians are very
How weird.
friendly, honest, and open-minded people. As an example, if you are on the street and you see a stranger, you generally smile and say hi to them. And most likely,
You know, that's interesting he says that because that's very basic. Like, that's the type of thing people say about American culture. But I don't think I've ever heard someone say that about Australian culture, at least not so bluntly like that specific thing. You smile at people on the street, say hello. That's what you do here in America, especially in the Midwest or the South. But generally around the United States. So that's interesting. A lot of ways I'd feel right at home.
they're going to smile back and reply to you hi.
It's just that home would have beautiful weather and beautiful beaches. That would be nice.
Apart from friendly, Australians are very funny people as well. They like to make fun and crack jokes. And if you are coming to Australia for the
Not about Americans though, right?
first time, you might find it a bit challenging to understand some of their jokes. So the tip here for you is don't take things too seriously and go with the flow. If you're not understanding their jokes yet, you will start getting the jokes after a while.
If you don't understand their jokes, then you are the joke.
Number 2,
They're calling you a Seppo. You don't know why.
Australians love their sports.
It's fine.
So whether it's football, whether it's AFL, whether it's
Look
cricket,
at that stadium. The AFL stadiums are so incredible. Holy mother. And it's full.
Australians love their sports. So whether it's football, whether
First time I ever saw Aussie rules, I just thought it looked like Quidditch. It looks like a Quidditch field out of Harry Potter.
it's AFL, whether it's cricket or rugby or any other sports, Australians are very competitive in sports. And Australian fans love to back their home team regardless of the sports they are playing. So if your home country teams are coming here playing against Australia, be ready to face hardcore Australian fans along with their teams.
You guys let me know, has Indiana ever played against Australia?
Number 3, Australians
I guess America obviously has. America's just so big, I don't think of it as like my home team.
do not
Like in the Olympics and stuff. Well, I guess I do. Never mind.
follow specific religion. That's correct that many Australians don't follow any specific religion.
You know, I'm curious now that he says that. Maybe he's about to pull up the chart, but I want to see a breakdown. Religion chart breakdown, Australia. I don't like that thing, you know, where now, like, if you hold it up here, it tries to rearrange your whole computer. It's annoying to me. Anyway. Wow, there it is. Christianity, 43%. No religion, 39%. Islam, little 3.2. Hinduism, Buddhism, Sikhism, Judaism, only 0.4%. That's kind of interesting, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it's 2.4% of the U.S. population are Jewish. So, I mean, that is like 5 times higher. So I guess that's, you know, that's just kind of interesting, I guess. I don't know. I guess I would have expected Buddhism to have a little bit more people, considering I thought there's like a significant amount of Chinese heritage in Australia. Maybe I'm way off base. I don't freaking know what I'm talking about. I mean, there are 1.4 million people that have Chinese heritage. That's pretty high. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
And some of them don't follow any religion at all. Even though they don't follow any specific religion, they openly accept the practice of any other religion. So if you are coming to Australia, don't worry, you will be okay to practice your own religion. Number 4, some etiquettes.
That's cool. I mean, America was kind of founded on that idea, so obviously, thumbs up.
when meeting Australian people. So as we discussed earlier, Australians are casual in nature, but when meeting them for the first time, make sure to shake hand with them. And usually Australians like a firm handshake. It's very important to have eye contact.
Now, what about the dap? You know, here in America, depending who you're meeting or where you're meeting them at, you might, you know, like if it's in a bar and you're meeting a bro, yeah. I won't reveal all the secrets. You know, that's a closely guarded secret. But is it that way in Australia? Probably, right? It's kind of a funny thing.
With the person you're speaking with, as not looking into the eyes is disrespectful and it seems like you are not telling the truth.
You know, when I was younger, I used to be really shy. And so I didn't like eye contact and stuff much. You know what I mean? And I feel like people thought I was being rude or disrespectful. That's the worst thing about being shy. People assume that you're like, you know, meaning something by it. It's like, no, I'm just, you know, nervous. It's actually kind of like, I respect you so much, I'm nervous.
Although as friendly as they are, if you're meeting Australians for the first time, usually don't try to get too close to them, as they don't feel very comfortable about it. The next one, Australians love their slang.
Okay, I won't say.
As they don't feel very comfortable about it. The next one, Australians.
It's just kind of funny. He said that kind of like he's had experience with it, you know, like they don't like that.
Although as friendly as they are, if you're meeting Australians for the first time, usually
It turns out they don't like it when you get right in their face. No, I'm just kidding.
don't try to get too close to them, as they don't feel very comfortable about it. The next one, Australians love their slang. Now Australians try to abbreviate everything they say. Basically try to make
At
everything
that point, it's like a whole new language.
in short. If you haven't watched the video
Which is
yet, we
interesting.
got a really good video on Australian slangs. Go and check that video out. We'll put the link of that video in
you
the
go.
description below. Now you might feel a bit overwhelmed with the abbreviations or the slangs Australians use. And if you don't understand their slang, it's a good idea to ask them to repeat the thing again. Or
Yank tank? What did you say? Seppo?
tell them if you're new here that you don't understand the slangs. And saying hi or hello is much better than saying good day mate if you're new here.
Why? Why can't you say good day, mate? I want to say good day, mate.
Next one is Australians don't accept
Would it be taken as kind of like insulting or something? I feel like if you came here to the South and said howdy, you know, people would. It's not insulting. That people would just think that was funny.
discrimination.
Especially like with an Australian accent. How would you even do that? I'm so bad at accents. How? Okay, Australian. Good day, mate. Howdy.
Discrimination or racism. Now it is illegal in Australia to discriminate people based on their color, race, religion, gender, or any other
What does it mean discriminate people? Because there's all sorts of ways you can discriminate against people. Like here in America, it's illegal when employing people to discriminate against them. Or like, you know, if you're renting your house, you can't discriminate by race or whatever. But as far as like if you want to be friends with somebody, you can obviously discriminate. I mean, that's not cool, in my opinion. That's not cool, but you can. So I'm curious what he means, like, it's illegal to discriminate.
religion, gender, or any other attributes. And Australians certainly don't like to discriminate people. Although we are not saying that there is no racism or discrimination in Australia, but you
I'm sorry, that video.
people. Although we are not saying that there is no racism or discrimination in Australia, but you will rarely find that discrimination or racism happening in Australia. And Australians are generally very much against racism or discrimination in everyday life. The next one, Australians don't tip their waiters. So if you are working in the hospitality industry as a waiter, waitresses, or even in the kitchen areas, don't expect to get any tips here. Generally, the wages and salaries in
Hopefully, if you've got to that point where you're getting the job, you would know not to rely on tips. You'd be like, damn, I get $28 an hour plus tips? This is crazy.
areas Don't expect to get any tips here. Generally, the wages and salaries in Australia are really good, as the minimum wage per hour in Australia is $19.49.
This was 5 years ago. Men wage Australia. Hopefully it's gone up a little bit with inflation, unlike America. 24.10, which how much is that in USD? 24.10 AUD to USD. 14.40. It's about double the American minimum wage. But then again, not a lot of places pay minimum wage. Like, you'd have to really try hard to find. But it sure would be nice for them to raise it, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that make sense?
Australians generally don't tip people in Australia. However, sometimes if you provide a really good service,
I mean, the minimum wage is effectively not even doing anything. It's that low here in America, it might as well not even exist. There is no job that, like, could even find a worker to work for $7.25. It's that low.
then you might end up getting some tips. The next one,
Wait, how do you get tips?
Australians generally don't tip people in Australia. However, sometimes if you provide a really good service, then you might end up getting some tips.
Or go where the American tourists are.
Next one, Australians
Work there.
don't like to be late for the meetings. As laid back as they are, Australians still like to arrive on time for any meetings. So whether it's an interview, meeting someone casually, or a business meeting,
I respect that.
make sure to arrive on time.
Americans are a little more shaky on that aspect.
Don't be late. And if you can't make it on time, make sure that you let that person know by text or by calling them. Number 9, some public transport etiquettes. Now, when boarding public transport in Australia,
Never wear shoes.
you must give way to the exiting passengers first. And make sure to queue up and don't jump the queue. And it's very important not to eat any food while traveling on public transport in Australia.
I always find it funny when people say, like, in this country, you don't jump the queue. In what country do you? Like, those countries, that would be insane. I can't believe those countries exist where you can just jump the queue and not get beat up.
As you might even end up getting a penalty for that, as eating food on public transport is not allowed in Australia. And it's a good
Oh, wow.
idea not to talk too loud
That's good to know.
in public transport, especially when you're on your phone. And last but not the least, dating culture in Australia. So if you are planning to date someone in Australia, it's very important to consider these factors. Unlike many other cultures where people like to kiss each other on the cheek when they meet for the first time, Australians are
Oh, yeah, people do that, don't they? You know what's really funny about America is, like, if you're fancy, like, if you're in the upper class, then I guess at some point you just start doing that. I don't understand it. Don't ask me. I've just seen it. I just would never, I can't imagine the first time you ever do that. Like, you know what? I've ascended to the level where I'm going to kiss this man's wife on the cheek. Nice to meet you. Like, did it work? Did I get away with it?
a bit reluctant to do that, especially when they're meeting you for the first time. So try to avoid that when you're meeting someone for the first time. Lots of Australians love to use different apps for meeting someone. Now, if you're not into these
I
apps
think it's kind of also just like an older generation thing, maybe. I don't know.
and online platforms, then you can
It's not very common here in America.
meet people at your educational institute, at your workplace, through sports or some other events. But generally the rule is the first meeting is your casual date, and regardless of gender, whether it's male or female, anyone can ask for a date. And when you don't know the person,
Anyone can ask for what?
whether it's male or female, anyone can ask for a date.
Oh, ask for a date.
And when you don't know the person that well as yet,
That's good. I like that, you know. I mean, here in America, it's probably 98% men asking women.
it's good idea to split your
Maybe less. Maybe 95.
bills, which means you will pay 50-50
Split the bill. Wow. Progressive.
if you're going out with someone. So these are the 10 things that you should know about Australian culture before moving
So the women aren't just trying to get a free dinner off you, huh? In Australia. Because you split the bill.
here. Which one did you find most fascinating? We will look forward to hearing.
I found them all equally fascinating. That was a really great video. Very accurate. However, as an Australian, I would use extreme caution when smiling at total strangers. It can be viewed as a threat. No, that's a dog. Sorry. If it's face to face, it's okay to smile within reason, but you should use caution if you smile to somebody on public transport or in a bar. Oh, yeah. They may think you're S-word interested. I don't think YouTube likes that word. That's why I wouldn't say it. Anyway. Or maybe you're creepy. What's creepy about this? Okay. Good tip. Some people need to hear that. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow.